Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on Logic Before Authority. Again, still here, still going. 11 plus years. Guys, I've got something I think you're going to find very interesting, and it is tied to previous videos. So if you've been here a while, you're really going to understand this. But I'm going to try to explain it in a way that even if you're new, because there apparently is a couple of new people here. So we're going to take a listen, or we're going to take a look at what most of you are familiar with, but we're going to look at it in a different way. And that is the video of iPet Goat, the iPet Goat 2, actually. And because, well, that video was done by members of the occult from an organization called Heliofont, which is the name of the channel, but I did research years back and tracked it back overseas where they created the videos from, and it came from a building that even looked like a temple as to where they were working and did the work to create the art for this video. So anyways, we're going to take a look at iPet Goat. What I'm going to do is show you how it has to do with a coming bright star in the sky, or a second sun. Okay, it's all throughout this video showing us this, but we're going to look at the majority of the slides we're going to look at are going to show you, just like the one you're looking at now, where it's showing you imagery of stars, or stars in the heavens, or eclipses, or the moon, everything related, because most of this video has to do with the end of the age of Pisces and going into Aquarius. Okay, leaving one age, going into another, and the occult of this world that have, or the elite, or whatever you want to call them, the thieves, the crooks, the criminals, the genocidists, whatever you want to call them, they have this knowledge stored away in places like the Vatican and stuff, and they know that we're in cycles. We're going through cycles, and these cycles are very, very long, at least when it comes to our lifetimes. But we go through this cycle of build up and then destruction. Build up and then destruction is the way our Father designed it, to keep things regenerating, hence the word generations, and the generations of the heaven and the earth. Like in Genesis 2 or 3, talks about these are the generations of the heaven and the earth. Well, these guys show in this video that we are at the end of the age, and I'm going to try to show that to you here. They even show the sign for Aquarius coming in, and I'll show that to you. I'll try to remember to show that to you too. Most of you have seen it. It was when they're dancing in the really what it is they are stars moving around, but they're showing them as little avatars dancing with different masks on. If you've seen the iPad video, you know what I'm talking about. And they have stars on their chests. It's signifying they are stars. They're deities, okay, that are moving through the heavens and control things and have effects on things. And the coming of the second sun, or coming of the brightest star other than the sun that will be in the heavens. We're going to look at that. So right out the beginning here, of course, we've got the image of George Bush, and you know how much I like the word image. The image of George Bush dancing on strings, wearing the dunce hat, you know, that kind of thing. And they're in the classroom just like he was on that event that happened back in September of 2001. And he was reading the book called iPet Goat in the classroom. And you can see that there's a star on the floor. Now, there's lots of other things that we could talk about here, of course, like the checkerboard floor of the good and evil, okay? The knowledge that came out of the Garden of Eden. And this video actually also shows that is where they're trying to go back to is Eden. They're trying to put the man and the woman back together into one. Hence the transhumanism and all the stuff that's going on. They're trying to go back to Eden and put the man and woman back together in one and live forever. Because before the woman was made, Adam was, or should we say even before the fruit was picked, they're trying to climb the tree of life, basically, is what they're doing, and gain the knowledge out of the tree of life and live forever like a god. And that's what they're doing. And they want to put the man and woman, which is why in the event in September of 2001, that's why they took down 2 towers and put up one that's twisted into one. It's 2 towers twisted into one. It's transhumanism. It's when 2 becomes 1, just like the Spice Girls sang back in the day. And most of the Spice Girls were men, if you didn't know. Just like Obama's wife, Michael, and many others in the entertainment and politics, which they're just actors to industries. Well, let's get going because I could talk forever, right? So we've seen the star there, of course, and you can look here to the left, and you could easily say that that's a star on the left with the snowflake, and that certainly is. Obviously, it's in the image of more of a snowflake, so it's meant to throw you off a little bit, but that's just another image, okay? And we go on here, and then here we have Obama, and he has, on his face, he has a crescent moon and a star, which is in the image of a mole right there, as you can see. And that is the sign for the clock tower that's on top of the clock tower in Mecca, that crescent moon. And they know that there's a day that's coming where that inside that clock tower that will cross into it this star, or this second sun, or the coming of the second sun, and the beginning of the complete end of the new age and beginning of Aquarius, okay? And so Obama has it on his face. So let's keep going. And we could get into this, explain in many ways as to why this is related to, because it is. It's the dropping of the apple of the eye, the eye of the Taurus, the end of the age, the changing of the magnetics that have to do with all this, and the new heaven and the new earth being opened up and becoming available again for habitation, which is not right here where we stand. I don't believe it's a new area, a new heaven and a new earth that will be transitioned to. And I've explained some of this in other videos before, but I know that is extremely hard for anyone to understand. But if you look at it like, let's just say there were 12 ages, okay, on the entire rotation of generations of the heaven and earth, and there were 12 heaven and earths at different periods, and each one, like say we're at the 4 o'clock spot right now, and we're in the 4th age. When it transitions to the 5, that's a new location on the world, WHIRLED, world, because it whirls, it spins, it's a torus, and we would move into the new heaven and the new earth. But I'm kind of getting off track a little bit, but I'm trying to widen your understanding of what's going on here. And as you can see, there are 12 avatars here, or 12 points on the clock sitting behind her. And of course, the clock is throughout the symbolism in here as well, which I didn't take a picture of, but it's on 12 o'clock in all of the images when you see a clock in the iPad video. And it happens to be 12 avatars behind her, with, see the one right there with his hands down in between his hands? His hands pointed downward. It's just like Trump, the way he sits when he sits all the time. And that likely is a avatar for Trump. Although I've never could quite understand exactly what it meant, other than I know who it's referring to. So you can see here that this is kind of an image of an eclipse, a light shining down from above. So that's kind of another one. And then we have the new sun, okay? The new age, the new sun, the new, it's coming across time. He's coming through the clouds, passing across time, making his way here as the way that they're showing it here, okay? And I have to be real careful here because I'm not advocating everything that they believe. I'm trying to explain some of that to you as well as trying to explain to you how I see it. And so if I misspeak a little way, don't judge me right away. Make a comment below and I'll try to explain my position and clarify what you might say. So he's in the boat and he's coming across time. He's coming across the clouds through the heavens in the boat in that image, okay? Here's another image of the head being cut off, okay? And you've got the image, the avatar of the actor Osama bin Laden that, and you can see behind him, he has some warheads and it's a submarine is the symbolism here. This is a submarine that's controlled by AKA terrorists, okay, which again is not really a truth, but it is what they're showing here. And you can see there's light shining down from above. And this is the next image here, which shows that there is an eclipse taking place, okay? You could say, well, that's the moon. No, it's not the moon. You can see it's red. It has something coming in front of it, and it's not the exact size as the sun. It's a little different size. It's an eclipse by the transit of something else that's going to transit the sun that is not the moon. Because as we know, when the moon eclipses the sun, it's almost an exact size match, okay? And this is not. You can see that it is smaller, okay? But it is eclipsing the sun. And this is the moment in which they're showing that this event, the cutting off of the head with the spear, is going to happen, okay? And I suppose that they're not going to tell us that this transit or eclipse of the sun is going to happen, and it will be a surprise. And it may be one that lasts 3 days. What is it, 3 days of darkness? Huh? They're not going to tell us about it when it comes, but there are hints to when this is within this video. For instance, the clocks all being on 12, either 12 midday, which they must be referring to because here we are, obviously, during the middle of the day with the sun high in the sky and something transiting the sun. It's, like I said, not an eclipse of the moon. And it's not the moon eclipsing or transiting the sun. And you see he's praising it, he's worshiping it, okay? See, this is the Islamic or Muslim religion. They worship something called and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. And just to make it clear to anyone that's listening of any religion, I'm not criticizing or judging any religion because I'm not a member of any religion, okay? I believe what I believe, and I am searching my own path and sharing it with y'all guys as I go. But the black star, okay, which, let's see, I think I have, like this, the black star within the crescent, is that a moon or is it a sun that's being eclipsed by a star, by another heavenly body that we don't have education or knowledge about. I suspect that is the case. And you probably remember the song Black Star that David Bowie put out about the black star coming, and there's other songs been made about it, like the one about when the black sun comes and takes all the rain away. You remember that one? It didn't rain in the time of the beginning in Genesis 1 and 2. It talks about there was no rain. It was a mist that came up. And it didn't even rain until the time of like Noah, from what I understand. It was always a mist that watered everything. And see, this is the worship of this concept in general, which is the black cube, which is symbolism for the black star. Okay? And those of you who've been around, you've also heard many other opinions that I've given, and they're that opinions based on my knowledge that I've gained. And you can see they're circling this, and they're creating the image of a torus. A torus, like a perfect example of a torus on this in our world is a hurricane, okay, or a tornado in a supercell thunderstorm that's spinning in a circle and drops down a tornado, torus, okay. So, yeah. So let's keep going. It's another image, and you can see up there at the very top, there's the crescent up there, and most people think it is the crescent moon, but I actually think, as shown in this image with the sun up there, I actually think it is the crescent sun. Why? Because it's gold. Its gold is in the color of fire, and I suspect that this is the sun being eclipsed. And the black star itself, the symbol coming into play, the return of the second sun, okay? So let's keep going. Just another image. This one showing how they're using the color heliotrope, or a type of purple, in the presentation of this. The color of purple or heliotrope is royal purple. You'll see it in scripture about the woman clothed in purple, and all these things is talked about heliotrope. It generally is considered the color of a something not good, satanic in nature. You can see that color again here pretty well as well. The sky is purple, and I wondered for a long time what that image back there really meant, but we know what it means now. It means that everything is being transitioned to electric, and oil is being turned off and runs out, you might say, okay? Going away from the oil. Here we have another scene showing another star, and you can easily see, and then it has the statue of liberty, right? We were never told the true meaning of liberty, okay? And the next immediate scene it shows is this one. It shows a spinning star, a torus, just like I showed you, this people walking in circles around the cube in Mecca, and there being the crescent sun up above, right? You see? And who is that? Well, that's Helios. You remember what the Statue of Liberty's face looked like? There it is. I say it because it's an image of an androgynous man or woman, meaning there is no sex, there is no man, there is no woman. It is back to the garden, back to Adam before Eve. Okay? That's what they're trying to do. They're wanting to go back to the garden. And there's your sun symbolism all around it. And you can obviously see that that is, in fact, an image of the same image, the androgynous image, which is on the Statue of Liberty, as we call it. We've been lied to and fooled about everything. And what's even more interesting is that Helios, see, Helios, the Greek god, is riding 4 horses. And where could that be coming from? What's that related to? Well, it's pretty straightforward. It's related to the 4 horses of the apocalypse, the end of time, the 4 horses coming, the 4 beasts of great power. The first one is something white that has great power, that has the ability to conquer and to conquer. And what has happened? Well, we've had the medical and scientific industry come together, all wearing white jackets, and they've created the things that have went on for many years, but especially in the last 2 years, signifying and signaling the rolling out of the white horse. And the red horse comes right behind it. And the red horse causes them to kill each other, meaning the people to kill each other. They don't even have to do the killing because the people are going to do the killing of each other. That's why we've been continued to allow to arm ourselves, to buy as many guns as we want, to buy as many bullets as we want, and to arm ourselves. I've said for years, they're not trying to take our guns away. It's too late. They're arming us to kill each other. And there's the whole thing with the snake bites that all these people got in their arms. And I'm not saying everyone, may God have mercy on many of them, but many of them are going to become as zombies, and they're going to be under the influence of the hive mind, which is going to be your Starlink, that's going to be controlling the minds of all these people all over the world and causing them to do things in action together. They're going to go walking, leaving, driving, however it happens, and cause mass events around the world because they're going to be controlled by the hive mind of the beast, you see. And that's coming. All right, so we got the 4 horses there. And if you don't believe that they're in control of the 4 horses, I should have, and maybe I'll try to remember this too, but I've shown you before where SpaceX launched the satellites up into the heavens that said on there, our time has come, and it shows a white horse and a red horse and the 2 different satellites. Those are the satellites that are the main hive mind that's going to be linked up to all of the Starlink satellites that are flying over everybody's head now, in which they said that they were going to have 33,000 satellites. And then, of course, they have the Dragon capsule that they're promoting, and they've got the Starship. And the Starship, the beast is said, the dragon is said to come out of the heavens, or to be in the heavens and create war in the heavens. It is said to have 7 heads. How many head will the Starship people, the Starship craft, seat? It says 7. You can look it up, and I put it in my previous video. And they're planning on 33,000 satellites. 33 is 1/3, which is the third of the stars that are swept from the sky by the tail of the dragon, meaning the end of the dragon. The stars will fall from heaven, meaning all these satellites will fall out of the skies at some point in the future. You see? Another image of Helios with his chariot flying through the heavens. Yep. See, he's shooting fire down from the heavens. His story is part of his story is that he will be shooting fire from the heavens. Helios. And you'll see at the very end of this video, what is coming out of the heavens at the end of the iPet goat is, you would say, well, that's a meteor or that's a comet, but it's fire coming down from the heavens, raining on the world, raining on the United States, raining on other countries. It's fire coming down, destroying the pyramids, breaking down the structure of our society today, bringing the world to us in the end as to how we see it and have understood it throughout our life. Another image of Helios on his horse. You see, you have to understand that a lot of the characters that are represented in the Bible through symbolism are actually the same characters. Different stories telling the same story from a different perspective using different symbolism. The reason I have this one in here is I just ran across it talking about Hades. Makes me think about a number of things, but including the end of the Simpsons episode that had the 4 horses in it. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to get too much into that right now. Here we are with the destruction of the temple, and there we have the symbolism for the crescent sun. It may be a moon, but I'm thinking it's the sun. Okay. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I'll show you some more of my reasons in a minute. So here comes the second son, and he's traveling through time, through space, above the waters. You can see the water down there. Up above the waters, in the clouds, which are also waters. Oh, come on down. In his boat. Yep. And then he comes out of the Bill Gates windows. Well, actually, it's the windows of heaven that coming across time through windows, through gateways, through portals. When they align correctly, which is what this is showing, that when the heavens align correctly, this event takes place. And he rushes forward. Now, this star image that you see in the back, this is called the Small Magellan Cloud, I believe it is. You can go look it up, but that's the image. I'm not sure if they're saying it's going to come out of there. More research needs to be done, but it's a good chance and it needs to be looked into. Okay? But coming across, high speed, coming into our realm. And he comes in, and what does the second son do? Or should we say, what does the dragon do? That old red serpent. What does he do? The second son. You see, because he wants to be the first son. He wants to be as high as God. But he's not. Well, what does the dragon do? He blows fire. He casts fire down from the heavens. What does the Bible say that the earth will be destroyed by? Fire? Is that what it was? Must be a coincidence. Right? Okay, so here's the next image here. He's blowing fire into the body of God. He's blowing fire into the temple. He's blowing fire into the image of God. He's blowing fire into you. Okay? And I've went backwards and forth many times as to whether this thing right here represented the ovary or the seed, or does it represent what's in the forehead, the fire of God, the spark of God that exists in our forehead that I talked to you about in our last video? Because it could be that, and I think it is, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, here's just another image of that after the fire kind of stops, right? Let you have a little closer look. Okay. And then there's this image. Most of you are familiar with this, but I want you to look at something. Can you see the man's face in the water? He's got one eye closed and one eye open. One eye symbolism, right? You can see the bridge of the nose going down. And then this is his forehead that is mirror imaged up. Like if he's coming straight into the forehead. He's going into the forehead. It's going in and turning off your fire, turning off the spark of God, disconnecting you is the imagery here, okay? Going into the head. See, that's the forehead right above the eyes right there, okay? And that would be where your connection with with God, okay? The spark, the fire of God that exists within us. Go back to my last video if you don't understand what I'm talking about. You can even see this imagery looks like the brain. You see all these little curls and all this kind of stuff. That's brain imagery, human brain imagery. It's a little closer shot that I'd taken for you. And here he is, of course, through the waters, still looking like brain imagery. Okay. And I know these are called sheep fish, and they have teeth like humans, and they are jumping into the boat. So he's passing through, and they're jumping into the boat to go with him. And I've never quite nailed down exactly what's going on here, but it's going to come to me one day. Maybe one of you guys have some ideas, and you can put it in the comments below for me. Yeah. It might have something to do with the symbol of Pisces, meaning, I don't know if you can hear the church bell. Probably not. It's way in the distance, but anyways, that's cool. A fish is the symbol of the age of Pisces, and here they are jumping out the water, jumping into the boat, leaving with him, going into the age of Aquarius. Probably has something to do with that. I still haven't nailed it down. And here we have another imagery of something spinning like a torus, coming down, projecting light onto the mortal man. The mortal man, and you can see by this body that this man is laying face down on one side and face up on the other side. His leg up and his knee up here, and that's his butt cheek, and his leg down and his left arm down also. And obviously it's symbolism for the human phallic as well, but it's about the sexuality, the lust and desire of procreation that was started in the garden, okay? And it's been that way ever since. And that's why I say they want to go back to the garden, because they want to stop this. They want to make the man and the woman one again, which is, again, what are they doing? What are you seeing everywhere right now? Men that think they're women, women that think they're men, and every alphabet agency in between, right? Okay. But we have that imagery again of the light coming out of the heavens, coming down. Love, lust, the element of the serpent or of the woman that's inside of the man that makes him desire and makes things happen that like happened in the garden. They are rebelling against that, and they want to put her in prison. They want to get rid of her completely, which is what this whole scene that I'm not going to show is about the destruction of desire, of lust. And no, this isn't a judgment on women. None of this in my videos is. I love my sisters just like I love my brothers. So don't ever think it's that. But you also have to realize the truth is the truth. No matter what it is, we have to accept it and figure out why is it the truth. What does it mean to us, and how does it affect us, and what should we do based on knowing that knowledge so that we can walk the narrow path? And here you go in the next little scene that shows him exiting the womb, exiting the body of Christ, exiting the church, exiting the bride, exiting, you can look at it a lot of ways. You got the double helix, which represents the serpent within, that's wound around the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The serpent's tree wound around it, just like the caduceus, okay, and which is the medical industry. And he's exiting out. He's leaving this system, is what they're symbolizing, with the water splashing around the birth. And as you can see at the top, you have the symbolism of a Taurus, of a, what do they call it in the Catholic churches, the stained windows and the flowers, that they show. It's all about the Taurus. It's all about the heaven and earth. They understand the things that I'm explaining to you, I'm sure better than I do, but they won't tell the common man like us. So we've had to figure it out on our own. So in this scene, when they move to this in the video, what these are, this is the heavens. It's symbolizing the heavens. And these avatars, we'll call them, or images, are all, if you notice, they all have stars on their chests. It's saying we are a star. We're a star in heaven. We are a deity, because the occult of this world believe that the stars are deities. They believe that they are power, and they have power, and they control aspects of many things, and maybe all things. And well, there likely is a lot of truth there. The stars are the hosts. Christ did say that the stars were angels, okay? They are, and I believe that is the truth as well. But you have to decide, what do you do with this knowledge? Do you do evil, or do you do good? Okay? So you'll notice that the images change. We have Shiva here, causing chaos. Chaos comes. And after chaos comes, guess what comes? The destruction of the semen. This scene where it shows what looks like clouds and dusty things, kind of. It's semen. It's human sperm. This is the destruction of the male reproductive system, which is why one of the reasons they're putting needles in all of you, so that your sperm count will disappear and you will produce less and less children during this genocide. You see the second sun coming and rising above, destroying the semen. These are armies of, the way they've got it depicted here is to make it hard to understand, and it has been hard, and it's taken a long time to have a clear understanding of what's going on here. But it's the destruction of procreation as to the way it is now, okay? When two becomes one again, transhumanism, everything being moved, going back to the garden. Here's Father Time doing the dance in the heavens, playing the music, the universe, the one verse, playing the song. And this is the Sufi dance. This is the Islamic dancer that's doing the Sufi dance, which is a dance symbolizing the movement of the stars. By the way they turn and twirl and move their arms and legs, it's about the movement of the stars in the heavens controlling the time, the cycles that we go through, the generations of the heavens and earth. And the current earth and heaven is preparing to pass away. And then a new heaven and earth will come. And some of us will be going to the new land according to Scripture. And you notice there's the full moon symbolism there. And in this image, the reflection of the full moon, and you've got a Islamic temple with a minaret, which is the phallic symbol. And where he's standing was the dome, which is the womb symbol. And you can see that the dome, the womb of the woman, has been destroyed. And what controls the cycles of the women upon the earth today? Well, it's the moon. So it's appropriate that it's in the image. And I would imagine that this imagery here probably somehow could be found in the human body as well. So here we have the second star dancer. As you can see now, he has the image of a frog on his face. Recently, they discovered and said there was a new constellation, and it is the frog constellation, strangely enough. So when you see these dancers, they're representing a star or possibly a constellation. And here's the bear. What is this, Ursa Minor? Which is the bear. We call it the Big Dipper sometimes, or I think that's correct. Don't judge me on it if I got it wrong, but I think that's correct. And yeah, we've got the bear imagery, the bear hands, bear claws, the bear mask. And he's a star dancing in the heavens, twirling around, spinning. That's why they're dancing like that. That's why in the CERN video, what was it called? Symmetry. That's why they were dancing and spinning in circles and showing a clock running backwards and all that kind of stuff, because all these things are going to come to pass, and they know it because they have historical documentation from the last time the heavens and the earth passed away. They were able somehow either to bring it forward, or they've had long enough to figure it out, one of the two. And heck, what do you know, we figured it out in one lifetime, or at least quite a bit. And it hasn't all been me. It's been my Father in heaven and y'all guys helping me and supporting my work, because I wouldn't be able to do this. I'm still in a hotel, still don't have a place to live, but I would not be able to do this if y'all guys were not behind me. Here we have the the fourth star symbolism, which is the eagle. Either the eagle or the hawk. Maybe it's the hawk. Okay. But again, referencing a star or a constellation that is dancing around in the heavens, taken in a specific point in alignment so that the windows, the gateways, just like the computer manufacturer gateway, then you got Windows, which is on the Microsoft system for when you open a window to peer across time and space and even talk to somebody in another country. Yeah, magic. It's magic that was learned out of the Garden of Eden, out of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Technology, that's why a computer in gematria is 666. And then we have the final one, the fifth one that jumps up, looking like an image of Satan or something like that. Again, with a star on his chest, symbolizing he is a star. He's a celestial object, a host of heaven, jumping up. Maybe even, you could say a lot of things about him, but you'll notice though, all the rest of them are dancing in the dark. And then all of a sudden, this one jumps up, and it gets real bright outside. A second sun has come. It's been dark for days, hasn't it? How many days was it dark? 1, 2, 3. The sun comes back, but it's a second sun. That's the symbolism they're showing here. Right after this scene, it shows this immediately with the 2 suns shining bright, the second sun. Isn't that fascinating? Yep. And then you have, right after that, there's a great shaking and the exit out of the vesica Pisces, the point of creation, the birth canal onto the waters, and the new age begins. Everything from the old age, which is behind him at his heel, is falling down, being destroyed. Including all the infrastructure, the buildings, by tidal waves, which are shown throughout this imagery, very much so. Water destroying everything, but also fire. And this represents the birth of the new age with the fire coming down from heaven, which is what strikes the pyramid, and then all 3 pyramids crumble. And you can see in the heavens, you can see the bird that we were just looking at, talking about a couple of moments ago. You can also see Scorpio on the left. You can see his stinger there, and his claws are symbolized down here by that claw right there. And there goes the beginning of the new age. This is when the Mecca clock tower and I'll show you right here. When the second sun comes in, moves over, and then eclipses the first sun, or the star that comes over, which a star basically is, in fact, a Taurus. So therefore, it is similar to a sun, no matter if it's on fire or not. What do they call Jupiter and Saturn? Failed suns, failed stars, right? When that little dot slides over, it means it's going to eclipse what that is. And that is the sun, which you can see is eclipsed. See the black in the middle of the circle? That's the sun showing you it's being eclipsed. And there's a second sun that shows up during the eclipse, maybe, or is actually doing the transiting and doing the eclipse. And how do I know? Because it's called helio, which is the word for sun, and font, which is a word for language. Yeah, the language of the stars, the language of the sun, the language of the second sun. And they obviously are very interested in this symbolism in order to do what they've done here. And the whole focus has been on the coming of the second sun, right? You can even see what looks like a child sitting there, like a baby, looking at the sun. You see it there? I'll put it right in the middle of the screen. Looks like a baby. Yeah. What do you think, guys? Leave your comment down below. And also, guys, a couple things very important, really very important. I'm launching my another direction I'm moving in. Not going to give up logic before authority and doing what I'm doing here. I'm just expanding. I've got to make some moves because they've almost completely destroyed YouTube. And I don't trust a lot of these other platforms, to be honest with you, whether it be Rumble or any of them. And I thank you for all your recommendations. If you go hunting down who owns BitChute and Rumble, it's the same people. They've got control of the internet, and you're not going to play on their ground if you're any risk, if you're any danger. Anyways, starting remember I said I was going to start a supernatural channel? Well, I am. But I'm going to be doing it in a different format. It's going to be call-in radio style. So you're going to be able to call in, talk to me directly, and tell me your stories, that experiences that you've had in your life, no matter what it is or what it's about, as long as it has to do with the supernatural, meaning something, well, you should know what I mean, whether it be ghosts or whether it be angels or whether it be seeing a Bigfoot, whether it be, I'm not kidding, and whether it be like I've had so many things like car crashes that I should have died in. I've had birds being put in my patio over and over and over and over with no way for them to get in or out. I've had crystal glasses explode in my kitchen. I've run off the road and went through the woods and swamp and come out the other side and didn't even get the tires muddy. I mean, there's just so many amazing supernatural things, some of which I've told most of on this channel. But I'm getting ready to launch that, and probably tomorrow will be my first episode, and I'm planning on 3 o'clock tomorrow during the middle of the day for the first one. It's just going to be a short test episode, about 30 minutes long, and then we're probably going to move to an hour format, okay? But the hour format costs money. I have to be really careful right now with y'all guys' money that you invest in me to continue this work. And speaking of that, I do still need y'all guys' support. I'm safe because of y'all guys, and I ask that you please continue supporting my work. Sorry about the background noise. And we're going to be moving forward. I hope you enjoyed what you've seen in this video, showing you the symbolism that is meant within the iPad Goat 2 of the coming of the second son. However it transpires and correlates with the 3 days of darkness. Hang on a second, guys. Sorry about that. Anyways, so I got my new show coming. All my links to all my support links are down below. We've been at this now for 11 years, and I thank y'all guys so much for allowing me to do this for so long, and because it is the most important thing to me in my life, is to be able to do this work and be able to share the knowledge that is revealed to me to y'all guys, because y'all guys have made it possible for me to spend 7 days a week, 24 hours a day when I'm awake, whenever I am awake, to work on this. And even when I'm asleep, I dream about it and wake up with revelations. And it's just been an amazing ride, and I'm still enjoying it. And I still love y'all guys. And our Father in heaven loves you. And this is our time. And I hope y'all guys soak this knowledge in. I hope you watch this video and come back and watch it again sometime. And I ask you to please share this video, put it out to people and let them see it. And if they haven't seen iPad Goat, have them go watch it. And anyways, we'll be talking to y'all guys again real soon. I'll put out a video or a notification of some kind tomorrow alerting you if I move ahead with the 3 o'clock call-in show. And I'll announce the name of it and do all that by then. And I'll put out a video about it before the show, probably be a couple hours ahead of time. I love you guys. Talk to you again real soon.